Hey guys, welcome back. New video, new day. You can see I've got the wings on. I've skipped forward a bit. Didn't film anything putting the wings on, but this is where we're up to now. It's getting close. Thanks for watching. Enjoy this one. Okay. First things first, special thanks to Graham Matho, Mark Collins and Keith, who drove up and spent the day yesterday working in a bit of heat and helped me get all this going. So thanks guys, I appreciate that. Obviously too much to do by yourself. When I built the wings, you know, I'd sort of struggle and turn them over on the bench myself because I'm a bit stubborn in that regard, I guess. I've got to be a little bit careful. But where we are at the moment, things are just pinned. I know these two struts, like the bolt's 3/4 of the way through, needs a bit of tin tapping to get it through, or a socket, take a bit of tension off. Precarious is probably the word at the moment. So happy with how it's going. Now it's time just to sit back, tension everything up. We'll get everything on loosey-goosey, I guess. Then I need to work out how I'm going to put it back in rig. We'll check the rig on everything. I think I'll just start with the bottom wing, like the rake, if you like. So this way. It can't be changed on the bottom. So I'll get the top wing parallel with the bottom wing. Just run some, just we'll check wingtip to rudder post to wingtip. They should be within 1/4 of an inch or 10 mil or so. Because I can't change that anymore, but I can make the top wing the same. I'm pretty sure I plumb bobbed it and I had an 18-inch stagger. We check that. Obviously the dihedral needs to be set. I don't know if the top cabane is sort of set, if you like, zeroed. One problem I do have, if you can see that bolt up there, should be 90 degrees. Now what's happened there, I cleaned the tubes out, the inner tubes and the outers, but I didn't actually clean the face. So I've got a tiny bit on each side, so about a 1/16 of an inch of glue and covering and dag that's preventing on both sides. That one's even worse. Bigger hammer, I can hear you say. So I need to work on that. This side's only got a 3 mil bolt up in there at the moment in a 3/16 hole, which it's holding the wing on, so the wing can't come off. Sort of got to a point where I had to make it all safe so I could go home. What else do we have to do? Underneath, I cut out the extra panels here on the down under here, just to purely get the bolt in. I was a little bit lucky here. Preference would be, or standards, have the head of the bolt uphill, if you like. So the theory is all these things, heads of the bolts forward, head of the bolt outboard with dihedral. So if the nut comes off, it keeps it in. In a situation like this, you can see I can't, without taking it apart again, I can't get the bolt in there. Not too sure about the back there. As I talk, I'm thinking, oh no. That one looks like it's below the surface, which is going to be very interesting to get it all back in. Probably should have put those on first. And there's plenty of room at the top. So the process I used, we put the two bottom wings on, which couldn't have gone any better. Slid the wings on, put the bolts in, made sure the bolts were engaged, and just wound the barrels of the turnbuckles up. If anyone is going to do this, I just put an arrow. It sounds simple, but put a little arrow on there which way's tighten and which way's, because there's left hand and right hand threads and whatever. This one's a left hand thread. So you get confused when you're trying to do it in a hurry when three blokes are holding the wings up for you. So I got the bottom wing on, Then we had a card table down here, dropped the lower wing, fitted the struts, like I think I've said all this before, fitted the struts to the top wing, marched in the top wing, slid on fairly well. Lucky, because if it didn't, there's nothing I can do about it. And then I jumped down and raised the bottom wing up to collect the struts again. The only issue there was I just wanted to jam something in so the wing can't be pulled off. And that's where we're at the moment. So I need to, like I said, go over everything. I probably won't secure anything yet. Bottom aileron is off for access to the top. I probably need to think ahead to rig the ailerons like the top and get that turnbuckle lock wired. Because of the stagger, you're going to be leaning quite a way over to get up there. It's probably easier to do without the aileron. But can I rig that? I probably can, just using gravity. Set them both up, they're just connected together and should be pretty close. Okay. So yeah, today, just going to take my time, look at hardware. It's worth working it all out, because if you put a bolt in, for argument's sake, and there's nothing worse, you put it through and it's the wrong size, you can put, you're allowed up to 3 washers. When I say you're allowed, that's the standard. Say here, for instance, but you don't, if you can do it better, you'll do it better. So it's worth pulling it out, because neat is generally one under the head, one under the nut, good to go, rather than, yeah, have the, a stack of washers under a nut. All right, I spent the day entertaining, that's okay. Had a good look around the airfield. So this wing is basically all attached. My green tape on here told me where to put it back into rig, basically. Everything could be sort of skew this way and everything. I've got a couple of bolts to go on the other side. I managed to get the the wing locking bolt up there. Got that through. Sent the one through. They're not coming off in a hurry. I've got a gap there. I'll try and make that cosmetically a lot nicer. And I sort of need to work out now how I'm going to rig it. Get it back to basics, if you like. Oh, these ones here. So I've got an issue. Not an issue. Just, that was a guess. This hole here. And obviously the cable touches. That's the main flying wire. So I need to cut out both sides so it can run up on the angle to the top strut. Aileron cable's hanging out. It's probably sucked back into the wing a bit now. And what else? Oh, I've just looked. I've got to get these 2 bolts in now. That one and that one there. It does become a bit hard leaning over the wings. I had an issue with these cables, which were all marked. This one was out, which told me that the wings were twisted or skew. So I fixed that, just back everything off, get everything on. So I guess a quick check, and this is just a real preliminary check. If I go from there, let's go from the bottom. From there up is 54 1/4. Come around this side. And we should be in the... I could really embarrass myself here, guys. Probably don't do this live on camera. And we have got... Oh, that's pretty good. That's 54 1/4. So that tells me the wings are close. I'm not going to measure... Well, I could quickly measure that, but I can't change that distance anymore, so it's only going to be heartache, if anything. I might check it anyway, without you guys seeing. Now, I've left the bottom ailerons off because I need to get to that turnbuckle up there, where this bit of real estate in here comes in handy. Because it's a complete closed loop system, so from the joystick, bottom aileron, up a push rod to the top aileron, joined by cables, down a push rod, back to the joystick. I probably need to get up there, and I could rig that, I guess, just with gravity. Yeah. Thinking out loud once again. I'll join the aileron cables. I think I need to get the aircraft in rig first and then worry about getting the ailerons. Because if I rig the ailerons and then twist the wing, the ailerons are going to be out, aren't they? Okay, it's almost knock off today. I'll get it all finally secured. We'll start to plumb bob the wings, bottom wing being the master. Get the wings square and we'll go from there. Alright, I've got the top ailerons just connected. It's full and free, nice and smooth. Sounds simple, doesn't it? I think I've got a connector up in here. You may or may not be able to see it. Up in there, a couple of D shackles. I'm going to change most of this to castellated nut and split pin. My idea is my understanding, if it's locking, it's a nylock. If it's designed to spin, i.e. on a, let's have a look, good example. I've got clevis pins here, but I'd put a castellated nut on the horn, on the ailerons, so that it's sort of loosey-goosey. I'm not going to worry about, you can see I'm sagging on both, which is fine. A couple of turns on the turnbuckle, but that'll do for now. Now, I've taken quite some time. You forget how you do things. I've got, if you've been watching from the start, I've got wires, torsion wires, crossing over in the wings, and I had it under both. So I did one side, you hear it sort of not a good sound. That's how it goes. I can hear you say, how's it go? But I got that sorted out. Right, now we can move on. Alright guys, back in for another day. It's going to be a hot one today. See how much I get completed. I've got a wing joiner bolt to get in, get the light happening for you there. Got a wing joiner bolt to go in. Then I think we'll look at the rigging. Yesterday I think I showed you the ailerons all full and free up the top here. Not in rig just yet. Believe it or not, aerodrome aeroplanes have put up the last 3 posts are on rigging a Sopwith Camel with some sticks, which I'll probably follow along and do that. I guess it's time for another shout out, guys. It seems I've got a bit of a serial pest, but it doesn't sort of bother me too much. Every video I put out, I get a thumbs down. So for some reason last night I was just checking where I'm up to, and most of my videos have 99.7 likes or something like that. So you guys can help me by liking the video and make my little pest go away. To the guy who doesn't like basically every video that I do, my brother's in IT, and he actually told me who it was. So I do know who it is, and you're making a fool of yourself, buddy. But each to their own. Clicking on my video, it actually makes me a bit of money. So thanks for watching. for that particular guy. The rest of you, let's get back to building a video. Yeah, let's get back to building a camel. Alright, so I haven't got my grumpy pants on today. I've just carved this out to allow the flying wire to sit nicely. I'll leave myself a note. This next cow removal, yeah, you can sort of, I've got about 3 layers of metal there. A lot easier to clean that up when the cow comes off next. Let's face it, it's going to come off before it flies, so keep it simple for myself. I just leave myself a note. I can't even see on the inside. I think the doublers may have puckered out because I took a rivet out. You see on this side I'm about to, so the cable fits. It's too snug for my liking, so I'm going to take that rivet out there, cut this out on this side. Then I might hook up the Aileron cables on the inside just to stop them doing what they're doing. They've probably gone into the wing now. I might have to do a bit of fishing and try and get them out. It is amazing how far out of rig it can be. The last, what would that be, a cabane wire or a wing strut wire brace was about 2 inches too short, and I thought I'd mucked up my system of labeling the cables, but about 2 or 3 turns on the turnbuckle brings it back. So I must have had a heap of wash out, wash in, whatever, but you can't see it with the naked eye. I climbed up and the wing to me looks pretty level, but my laser will tell me that. It's a bit deceptive. The colour trim means nothing, but it's sort of, you look at that, but it's not a reference point, if that makes sense. Like it could slowly roll around the spar for all I know, that paint line. Well, that looks pretty good. Get moving on. So this side's probably right to go. Hook up the other side. Oh, cut out the other side. So, every nut and bolt is sort of in loosey-goosey. They're my drop sheets for literally if we have drop bears in Australia, I would drop stuff down. I think I'm going to jump in the cockpit, hook up the joystick to the Aileron so they don't go walkabouts. Get some hardware. I think I mentioned I might... No, let's rig it first. I think it's time to rig it. So there's not much I can do. I think I've covered this, guys. I can't change the rake fore and aft on the bottom wing, so that becomes the master. I'll plumb bob the front just to make sure my leading edge spars are parallel to each other. And then there's, for those in the know, there's 0 washout on this aircraft, apart from what I've built into the ailerons. I made the aileron tip. I think it sort of breaks up a bit. You basically had point A and point B, join the hoop, so I just made it sort of smiley face instead of sad face hanging down. It may or may not be just be an optical illusion, I'm not sure. And we'll get it close. Then I think he says on his video, because I can increase or decrease dihedral here with the both wires, and then I can increase or decrease wash in, wash out with alternate wires and take these up. Unfortunately, you can't just sort of say on these wires here, do them up to 25 inch-pounds, because they just keep pulling the wing up, if that makes sense. So you'd never get there. You'd sort of start to damage the aircraft or try and crush the wings together. So you get it in rig and then half a turn on every turnbuckle, pretty much. There was some suggestion on one of Robert Basley's videos. He just goes like this, 10 pound of force for a 1 inch movement. Maybe it's a case of doing a lower G or something for the musicians out there. Right, so Alright, I will give this a go. Quick reference. Plus or minus, probably what, 10 or 15 mil would be good. We are at 54.60. 54.60. That's on the outside of the tape. Whoops. 54.60. Don't scratch the Juco. And that is 54.50. Well, it's on the other side of the tape. Yeah, 54.50 and 54.60. 10 mil over that distance. I'm happy with that. Not much I can do about it. It's one of those checks. You sort of, why check it? Because you can't do much about it now. It may, well, 10 mil out here. I don't know. Everything's loose. So, anyway, happy with that. One more check I've got to do. Now that I've given the plane a shake. Should let them stop. That's about, that's rocking 8.5, 9 inches. I'll wait for it to stop for the purpose of the video. And that looks like it's 7.5 to 8. What did I say out here? I think that's about an inch out there. Hayden, we'll call that, yeah, 8.5 rocking to 9. Seven and a half. I'll check the other side now. Alright, so it's plumb bobbed. So what do I need to do? I need to, that needs to go back. So, if I tighten this one, that should pull the top wing back. Pull the stagger back an inch, I'd imagine. I'll try that. I need 2 hands, guys. Alright, we'll check this side. Now, here's an idea, guys. Why don't we just put it all on the internet and show everyone how far out of rig we are. But anyway, what do we got here? Probably should close the hangar doors. Seven and 3/4. Whoa. Nearly 10. Okay. Can safely say we're crooked. So I need to work out how to rake that side back and pull this side forward. All right, some homework. And this is one of those jobs, a lot of thinking going on here. So I need to move the top wing. The top wing's too far out for my liking. So let's just work with the bottom. This one's loose. We'll loosen off, take these ones. These guys are out of play. But just remember, we've still got to hold the aircraft up. This one's in play. This one's basically out of play, which is the top wing. Now maybe, yeah, that's taut. That's right. This guy's got something to do with it. And that one, I'd say. Probably these as well. Yeah, they're tight. So are they. So I think now that we're sort of loose, I've got green tape on here, which is where I had it rigged when the aircraft was naked, like not covered. So I've put it back to basically ballpark, but it's further out than what I would like. And these are loose. So let's start with the cabane. Only need like, 1/8 of an inch there, probably, 3/4 of an inch out here. I just need to break the code, work out what does what moves what around, what. I think I'll undo that. It can relax, but it can't. I've been up on a ladder and I've eyeballed the leading edge. It's reasonably flat. I can run a string if I need to when someone comes in the hangar. Always learning. Okay, let's go back a step. Let's get the bottom wing right first, so I'm not chasing my tail. Dihedral, very rude and crude, I guess. So I've got 4.8 this side. 5 degrees is what I'm chasing. 4.8 is fine, basically want them the same. This side, 5.2. It probably does depend where the ruler, I'm sitting on rivets and rib tape, but I can probably come down half a turn on these two and up half a turn on the other side. I'll try that. Okay, 5 degrees. Is it repeatable? Yep, 5 degrees. .9. 4.9. There you go, 4.9. 0.1 of a degree is, this thing's actually way too sensitive. I'm sure if I tweak the, there you go, I can make it 5 if I do it crooked. So I'm happy with that. We'll call that the dihedral done. Right, the penny dropped, boys. I've been trying to bring this wing forward. No. Just take that one back. So what did I do? Now I bought this one, I don't know, whatever I did, guys. I tightened this wire, so I brought the top wing forward to increase the gap, if you like. And then I tightened the rear wire here to decrease the gap. So I had 8 inches and 10 inches. Did that. Now I've got 9 inches both sides. I don't know why that took me so long to work out. So dihedral's right. Let's call it skew. Skew is right. It's too hot today. I'm going to knock off. I'll wrap this one up. All right, guys. So from a very hot hangar here. Aircraft's looking great. Got my drop sheet, literally for stuff that I drop. On both sides. Sneaking up on the rig, I'm happy now. I've got the dihedral done, we've got the skew done. What I call the skew, in case it's Sopwith. What are we next? I've got the ailerons connected in the cockpit. Might rig the ailerons upstairs there, just with gravity. For those who don't know, this is a full closed loop system. So from the control stick, say argument's sake, to the left hand side, up a push rod, cables across, down the other side through a push rod, back to the control stick. We'll continue with the rigging next video. Hope you enjoyed that one. Give us a thumbs up, you know why. Thanks very much, and see you on the next video.